actually not to reduce them, though, isn't it? We're not in the position to condition that then, or are we?
Well, if they're asking for it, you could do that.
Well, they're offering it, aren't they? If they're offering it, couldn't we say that we would like it to happen?
Chairman, you have a landscaping scheme under condition 6. As you have in condition 3 about materials, so samples have to be submitted, so not agree with the landscaping scheme or materials. So they are, I think, covered under the 2 conditions 3 and 6 anyway.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't know how the other Taunton councils feel. I don't like to see PVC on conservation areas, and I would like that to not be happening. But I don't know, you're going to speak next on this.
I just with regards to UPVC and keeping it within its heritage and the look of the area.
Do you have any points to bring about the village or?
Well, I mean, we consider the village to be part of Taunton Parish Council.
It is our land, it is Taunton Parish Council land.
So it's
we signed over, which is clear, and they're on the land registry. It is our land, which was bequeathed, was that's the word, from Colne Mosque.
So do you intend to take sort of legal action?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
It's our land.
Okay.
If we just keep it through the chair, otherwise it's
with the greatest respect,
fine.
this doesn't seem to be made an issue, that this is our land.
Chairman, if I may through you, I don't want to be seem confrontational, but it is not a planning matter. It is not with due respect for me. The planning system does not look at land ownership, nor does it look at things like covenants. It looks at land use, and if the land use is acceptable, if an applicant can't get across land, it goes across private land, it's for the applicant then to deal with that through third party discussions. So land ownership, the courts are very clear, provided the certification has been issued, and they have issued now a certificate B, saying they don't want parking lot land, then that's as far as any council should consider land use.
It's that screen they're trying to protect.
Well, obviously it's a legal issue then.
Yes.
It will be a legal issue, which is pretty pointless exercise if you grant it. Then we have to go to law to sort it out. It's ludicrous in my view, or in the council's view.
That's the planning law, unfortunately. Councillors.
Anybody can apply for planning permission for any particular piece of land. So I could apply for planning permission to demolish this town hall and replace it with a bingo hall. But it wouldn't have any effect, would it? The question I want to ask, though, is the piece of verge, which is in dispute, as I understand it, within the red line?
Yes,
Yes.
because they've issued certificate B.
Pardon?
They have issued certificate B, so it's saying that part of that land is not owned by them, so it's in the parishes.
Right. That's the second question I was going to ask. Because if you apply for planning permission to turn this town hall into a bingo hall, then I have to issue a certificate B, if that's it. Now, do I have to notify current town council as the owners of this building? I do. And have they done that? Have they notified Trawden Forest Parish Council?
By issuing certificate B, they have. They're indicating they have.
So the parish council know that this has been applied for officially?
Yes.
Right. So having done that, the issuing of that certificate does not give us any right to refuse the planning permission. So you can give me the planning permission to bring the hall here, even though everybody would know it was a ludicrous thing to do.
The example I often give is I can apply to put a fairground on Buckingham Palace. You were allowed to apply on somebody else's land, not that you would ever get any consent to do that, but that's how the law works. And so the consideration in that case would not be whether I own it, or the Queen owns it, or whomever, it's just what the land use would be.
But in practice, if Trawden Forest Parish Council refused to give permission for access across the verge, then this development cannot take place.
It can, it's just nobody will be able to reach it. They wouldn't be able to reach it.
I mean,
They could build the garage and the garden, they just couldn't drive their car to it.
Be like a ransom strip.
Chairman, I think I've had some legal advice on that, which I'm not going to bring here, but I would advise the parish to get some legal advice, because whether there are rights over there or not is not for us to determine, but they will have to get advice from the solicitor about that. But it is not, I repeat, it's not a planning issue, it's for the entirely for the parish and the third party to deal with.
Councillor, I'll let you know.
Can the decision be deferred until this is sorted out?
The clock starts to run on all applications and the council can be fined for not doing things quickly. Okay?
Can I make a proposal that we approve this planning application, we note the position, while saying that we would like it to be timber windows?
to do what?
Timber windows and
Oh,
doors.
Okay. Do we have a seconder for that?
Second.
Okay. Anybody else wish to say anything on that? No? Put that to the vote then, so that's to approve with timber windows. Anyone against? Okay, so that's approved with that condition then. Okay, so next up is 031, which is Bartholomew School, Stone Street, Colne. I have Shiraz Valley. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Welcome. You have the floor, sir.
Stand here or,
Wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah, good evening everyone, good evening Chairman. My name is Shiraz Valley. I'm acting on behalf of the applicant, Colne Mosque on Chapel Street. Basically just wanted to say a few words. It's been a few years I've been working on the application, consulting with the planners and the conservation officer, made several amendments to please the planning officer, because obviously the first draft looked quite pleasing with respect to the house. The plans have been submitted now, obviously with the sort of consultation with the conservation officer, so I've tried to comply as much as I can with the design and bringing the building back into the reinstate as its former glory, as it was a school. And the building that we're renovating is going back to as a school as well, you say. So if you've got any questions or anything about the building, or I hope that obviously the council will support the application.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillors? Councillor?
I very much support this application to bring back a Grade 2 listed building into use. It's been derelict for 20 years, but I do have a caveat that might make wind tomorrow. I see all the work that you've done with Rosemary in terms of showing window reveals, in terms of bubble course walls, so that the school will look, in essence, as it has always looked from the road, but in better condition. We won't be worried about the roof, etc. But there is a paragraph that bothers me in the report about the glazed entrance and the awkward join. And then there is a phrase that Councillor Foxley and I have seen a few times in our experience, which is it would be financially unviable to do what the conservation officer asks. And I would love to make a plea to you to say, don't spoil the ship for a ha'porth of tar. This is a magnificent Grade 2 listed building. If this is the small, the final thing that would make Rosemary and therefore the councillors happy, could you strain every sinew to do this?
If I can just elaborate a bit more, this is from the advice from the conservation officer regarding the glazed entrance that lines up with the new build with the original building, so you can see the feature of the original corner of the building.
Yes.
But what you misunderstand is that where Rosemary is asking to extend the roof further into the building, it's something that you're not going to really see. Other than the glazed entrance, we're no problem with the glazed entrance. As you walk up to the building, you'll see the glazed entrance, structural walls, structural roof, with all the nice glaze, whatever. But what I was saying is it necessary to extend the roof further inside the building? Because you're never going to see it really in effect as you approach the building, because you'll be approaching the building at sort of like, high level really. And regarding the cost
obviously it is going to cost the project a lot of money, because they're bearing in mind the community are going to fund this building, you see.
I wonder whether you've been talking cross purposes. Could I read you the paragraph?
Yes.
Because it doesn't sound the same as what
No,
you're saying.
no, no, I mean, we were arranged to design, you can look at the plans, the building has been designed to show the entrance this way, so I've got no objections to that.
Because I think she thinks that you're, she writes that you might be wanting more than
No,
she
no,
really
we haven't
knows.
looked at the plan, I don't know if you can look at the right plan, because if I can show you the plans, I've actually shown you that it's been incorporated, the entrance has been incorporated as a glazed entrance, so I'm not disputing that we're not going to have one.
No,
But
but
it's
she,
the extension of the roof, you see, that you can't really see, you know, at eye level really, that's what we
Okay.
sort of...
Paul might be able to shed light on it.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I think the issue here, I agree with what the Conservation Officer is saying, actually. The issue here isn't illustrated by looking at two-dimensional plans and elevations. What you will see as you approach the building in 3 dimensions, you're looking, because you're at a lower eye level than the roof, you would see that corner of the building, and the roof extending beyond that corner would make a difference, I believe, to the prominence of that corner, the existing corner of the building. So I can fully understand where the Conservation Office is coming from, and I'm afraid to say I don't agree with you that it would make any difference.
Can I just add to that?
I think
Sorry.
Normally you've had your speak and then you sit down. So if anyone's got a specific question for you.
Yeah. I just want to answer the gentleman.
Yeah, let the planning officer explain what he thinks.
What I understand to be the situation is that this is a glazed area and the internal double doors are here, and to extend that up to that point, just so that it draws the eye around the corner. That's what I understand.
She explains about an awkward joint between a solid and glazed, and that would go if it just took it a bit round the corner. She hasn't said to the full length.
It's about halfway.
It's halfway, it's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
Did you see where Mr. Watson was pointing?
Yeah, that's the point I was exactly making, that you're not really able to see the extension of the roof further around the corner from a visual as you approach the building. That's all. You know, as you can see, it actually passes the actual corner itself.
Okay.
You know, so it extended it further down.
Okay. Thank you for your input.
Well, again, I'm sorry, I have to disagree, because the front wall of that entrance, and I'm not right in saying is fully glazed. The entrance itself, the vertical face of the entrance is fully glazed. So, as I say, your eye level is lower than the roof. You are going to read that glazed roof returning around the corner as you approach. So, I believe that it's worth doing and should be, frankly. I would support what Sarah was saying. I think it's spoiling the ship for me. We've had good advice from our conservation officer about a listed building,
Largely
and I
followed.
think we should follow it.
Your council agree with me?
I have to say, I don't know how many people in this room understand the discussion that's just been taking place. I'm sure that Councillor Colne and Price and Councillor Fox do, and Mr.
Molly.
I'm sure you do, and perhaps you do, Mr. Chair. And the planning officer does. Can somebody explain to us in words of one syllable exactly what the dispute is about?
So if I may.
Yeah, please do.
We've got, this is an entrance into the building, going to be glazed. I need to go back to the roof plan. You can see that there, glazed.
So that entrance is where on that plan?
There, that entrance is there. Yeah. So you come in there and it's facing. Point is, whether from there to there are 2 internal double doors here. Yeah. Whether that up to there should be also glazed, so that it better reveals the significance of that part of the listed building. Does that make sense?
The roof should be glazed.
The roof, yeah, because it goes up and then it's just a roof covering from all that's roof. It's roof from there to approximately there.
So now, let me just, the whole of the extension, the new extension, is a flat roof. Yes?
Yes.
And it is aluminium.
It's a rate.
Well, it's not flat.
It's rate.
Well, it's not.
It's shallow
It's
bits.
sloping.
It's a gentle slope.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And from the previous one, there are 3 windows in it. Did I get that right from looking at it? No, go back to where we were looking at the plan. There, are those 3...
Like velux, they're not veluxes, you can't use the word velux, the velux roof lights effectively.
The what?
You know, the velux roof lights you'd see
Right.
in a roof.
The skylights, yeah.
Skylights.
Yeah.
And so the proposal being made is that a substantial part of that should be glass.
The roof, yes. Basically up to the, as you're looking from right to left, approximately up to where the start of the first skylight is.
Right, and what is the reason for that?
Because it better reveals the existing building, and it's not a visually confusing join between the zinc, the old building and the glass.
But it should only be glass for a certain length along that wall.
Yeah, not the whole lot, yeah.
So why is it not visually confusing further on?
Because you can't see it from the floor. It's obscured from the ground level.
So, okay.
So you can only see it from above.
To draw your eye, you will see that the wall effectively stops your eye seeing the zinc roof. So when
So where am I standing to look at this?
That's the entrance, so
Yeah.
you'll see there, and then you'd see across there to zinc roof. So you'd have glass and zinc across there. The idea is that you should just see glazing so that it's an obvious extension to the listed building.
An obvious extension to what?
To the listed building. It's a modern bit to the structure.
So I think people are quibbling, but this will only be people going in through the door, not from people outside the outside the wall won't see any of this, because the roof of this building is not higher than the height of the wall. Is that true? So unless I am looking out the upstairs windows of the building across the road, which is the business centre, which may be flats in future, or somewhere, I don't know if there's windows in the Methodist church on the other side, I won't be able to see it anyway. So it's only looking through or walking through the pedestrian entrance into the yard from Exchange Street. Is that right?
That's the main concern, Chairman, yes.
Well, otherwise you won't see it, because you can't see over the wall in Exchange Street. I mean, I've climbed that wall once or twice to look over into that yard, and it's quite high.
While you're still on that, can we just bring Councillor Fox in? So I think he wants to add something to his plan.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just clarify? There are 2 gates in the wall to Exchange Street. Are they wrought iron gates?
Yes, one isn't.
So
there are
you'll see through at least
they're
one.
not wrought iron, no.
Well, are
One
they?
iron, one isn't.
Can you see through them?
No.
They're solid.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Happy with that?
Oh. I don't think it makes any difference. I think it's important that the listed building is treated correctly, and the Conservation Officer has given us the advice as to how to do that.
I'll bring you back, Councillor Greaves, and thank you.
Well, we often disagree with what the Conservation Officer says to us. We listen to her advice and we respect it. But from time to time we don't agree with it. I mean, that's just historical fact. I mean, I honestly, I mean, this is a detail and I want to talk about the more important things, but I do think that people are quibbling over a detail. I mean,
It's a listed building.
I understand that. I understand that.
Details are important. Very.
But I think there's a limit to how far you can go. I know that it is going to be difficult for the owners of this building to raise the money to do this work. They have not got all the money at the moment. They have been raising money as best they can. I'm not at liberty, I don't think, to give details of the amounts of money they've got and how much they think it will cost. But they have a long way to go. And it is my view that we really want to see this building brought back into use as a listed building in good condition and for it to be used. Because it's been empty, I don't know how long it's been empty, but people say for up to 20 years. But it's a long time, certainly. And looking at the existing roof, it needs work doing on it fairly quickly, I think. I don't know how soon, if the owners get planning permission tonight, they'll be able to start on this work. And I'm quite sure it won't be next week. So I do think that viability has to be taken into account. When fundamental, you know, if it's fundamental, then I would be with Councillor Foster. I don't think this is. I think it's quibbling over a detail. However, having said that, and people can go back to it, can I say something about the application document? There's been a certain amount of controversy about this proposal, which is not new. It's been around for quite a time since the committee of the existing mosque bought this building from that rather strange firm in Bradford who owned it previously, who wanted to do it up and wanted Pendle Council to pay for it being done up. And we had to explain to them kindly that we didn't have that money. But, and I think they wanted us to pay for operating it as well. So I don't think it's a new proposal, and I don't know what, well, I am suspicious as to why the controversy has been stirred up as it has been stirred up in recent times. And I very much deplore the way in which the people who organised the petition and so on have clearly been trying to stir up community tensions in Colne, which do not exist and which we do not want to see in the town. So I deplore that, and particularly I deplore the people who've come from outside the town in order to try and stir up tensions over this. And I say to them, they are not welcome in Colne, and the sooner they get back out of the town, the better. The petition was inaccurate in a number of respects, and the question of who signed it is slightly obscure, since it seems to have names on it from all over the world, as well as all over Lancashire and all over this country. To which I thought, well, at least some people who'd never heard of Colne before in their lives will at least have heard of Colne, which might be something. I've also had a look on the website at the letters which have been sent in, all I think by email. It's difficult to know where they came from because we've now got this silly system where people objecting or commenting on planning applications, their letters are redacted, so their names and addresses are removed from them. So again, we don't know if these letters have come from Toronto or the wilds of Australia, or whether they are from local people. And I think this is something that really needs looking at, because it is silly. I'm told it's all to do with GDPR, but I really think that if people make representations to this council on a planning application and give their name and address, it should be expected that they expect their name and address to be published. If I did it and my name and address was redacted, I'd be very angry, because it's not right. And I think that we need some way of putting on the notification planning applications, for example, that there will be a presumption that their details are published unless they tell us otherwise. And I'm sure we can get around the rules by doing that. But we
There's a
are
choice,
got the
isn't
rules that we have at the
The
moment.
choice on
I
every
don't know where
post,
they came.
whether you post it and
I looked at it
agree with
carefully.
it.
The first thing that people objected to was that what they were saying was the change of use to a mosque or to an Islamic centre or whatever it is to be. I don't agree with them about that. I think that the Muslim community in Colne, which is not a lot of people, it's about 200 people I think, or perhaps a bit more than that with children, have a right to have places to meet and worship, just as any Christian denomination or any other denomination or any other religion would have if they wish to provide it. It's a human right, and the idea that we should ban it is fundamentally wrong. I'll avoid using other words, but it is fundamentally wrong, and not something this council should countenance. However, we are meeting here as a planning committee, and we have to operate by planning laws, and the application is not for change of use of the former Sunday school to a mosque. The planning application is not for change of use of the Sunday school to a mosque or to anything else, because it already has established planning use under planning category D1, which allows this to take place. The previous use and the proposed use are within the same planning category, so if the building was in decent condition, they could open it tomorrow and would not need planning permission. And that's just a fact. It's a legal fact. People might think it's a technical fact. It's part of planning law, and we are not being asked tonight to decide a change of use. So that is irrelevant. The second argument that is being put forward is that there should not be allowed parking within the yard. That is no longer part of